Quarantine.
No, we're more than normal.
Super milkshakes.
That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little hard to eat.
Yeah.
Is that yours or mine?
What?
Well,
This
you know
is
that
mine.
rice gets really, really fast, right? And it's not doing nothing.
Not for me.
That's a word.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Probably doing worse.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Steve.
I go to the office
Yeah.
nervous
I'm
and
loving
I just, when everybody's so sick around me because they just had it, so.
That poor guy having any luck lately.
Man,
I
I
look
tell
like a
you.
goober, but that's normal.
Bob said he's falling apart.
We're gonna start calling him Roger.
I didn't bring
Yeah.
my pen.
I've got to come to your
I
house.
got my cell phone turned off, yet it continues. Do you
Yeah,
ever?
I voted online.
I don't
Oh,
know.
you have to go down
Anything
there?
with that
No.
guitar? My father-in-law just
Making
came
a
out
mission
of
visit.
back surgery.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be up
Well,
there
hopefully.
tomorrow.
There's a tumor right inside his spinal column.
Oh, gosh.
They said the spinal column is terrible shape.
So bad?
Back in the back.
Did they know that going in?
Did you sew that?
Yes.
That's why they
Did
did
his
it.
MRI.
I think he's talking about something to eat.
No.
They don't even know if it's
So I didn't make the
cancer.
candy.
Several months.
Almost time. You guys missed our meeting.
What's that?
You guys missed our meeting.
Yeah,
Which meeting?
we redoubled booked. It's Todd's fault.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Bobby and I occasionally play tic-tac-toe.
Surely not.
Oh, yes.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to call the Warrick County Commissioners meeting to order. Today is December 12th, 2022. Sheriff, can you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business this evening is a public hearing in the matter of, is this you, Molly? You want to read this?
I can.
Okay.
It's the matter of the petition to vacate part of the right-of-way for Wyatt Courts and Cora Court in Spring Creek Subdivision, Section 1, Warrick County, Indiana. This was advertised in the Standard. Notices were sent, and we did receive all the letters back from the utilities.
So, council, we need to adjourn the meeting, right?
We need a motion to adjourn the meeting and
We
open a public hearing.
recess the meeting. Recess.
Recess, not adjourn, yes.
I make a motion to recess the meeting and
Second?
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
I just ask if there's any comments or anybody here for the petition to vacate.
Go ahead.
Scott Beadle with Cash Wagner and Associates. This is part of a 3-lot subdivision that's going to Plan Commission at 6 o'clock. And whenever we turn this in for site review, this was just a segment of Cora Court that was to extend further to the north, but when the property was unavailable, it's really unnecessary for it to extend north of Wyatt. So we're just asking for that to be taken out of the right of way and incorporated into the lots that we're platting later on.
Understood. Is there anyone else here to speak in favor or against? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to, I'm sorry.
To close the public meeting and reopen the public meeting.
Make that motion.
Second?
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0. And then next order of business is action on the public hearing, and that will be ordinance number
2022-25.
25. Yes.
Make a motion to accept the vacation of right-of-way for Wyatt Court and Cora Court, ordinance number 2022-25.
Second that.
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0. Okay, next order of business is area plan.
We have some street construction plans. Our first one, PP 22-17, Spring Corner replat of Lot 17 subdivision. Petitioner owners is Paul J. Roberts and Jonathan W. and Lori Wrights. Approximately .717 acres located on the east side of Spring Corner Road, 125 feet south of the intersection formed by Jenny Lane and Spring Corner Road, being Lot 17 in Spring Corner subdivision as recorded in Plat File 1, Card 309 in the Warrick County Recorder's Office, Ohio Township 36, 6, and 9. They are requesting no improvements to Spring Corner Road, and the county engineer has reviewed that and signed off on our copy.
Anything else?
Yes, a report too that Bobby Howard did sign off that no road improvements were required.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve PP 22-17.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Next item, PP 2218, Morgan Manor subdivision. Petitioner and owner is Brandon Morgan, approximately 6.52 acres located on the south side of Iverness Drive, approximately 1,600 feet southeast of the intersection of Woodlawn Drive and Iverness Drive, being parcel 1 and Rancho La Costa Minor number 2, as recorded in 2019 R007106 in the Warrick County Recorder's Office, and Lot 4 in Sharon Hills Estate, Section C, recorded in 2001 007166. Ohio Township 36, 6, and 9. They're requesting no improvements to Iverness Drive.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. This is the same project that came before y'all Drainage Board last hour. And this is just two existing parcels that we're combining into one parcel at the end of Inverness Drive. And we would ask that there be no road improvements. There are some folks from the neighborhood here. I did meet with them right before the meeting, and just I'll say on the record, because they have maybe had some concerns. There are no new building sites here. We're actually converting two lots into one lot, so we're taking away one building site. No road extension, no new development. We're just combining two lots into one lot and asking that we don't need to improve the cul-de-sac that's already there. And that was built as part of the Sharon Estates Section C. So.
Are you folks satisfied? Very good, thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion. Steve, anything?
And again, Bobby Howard, county engineer, has signed off no road improvements are necessary.
Make a motion to approve PP 22-18.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Motion carries 3-0.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is PP 2219, Spring Creek 3 PUD subdivision. Petitioner owner is Spring Haven LLC by John Alpers, the manager. Approximately 1.044 acres located on the south side of Van Road, 280 feet east of the intersection of Van and Bell Road. Being part of Lot 2 in Martin Bell subdivision, recorded in 2013 R002629 in the Warrick County Recorder's Office, in Ohio Township 22, 6, and 9. They're requesting no improvements to Wyatt Court, Bell Road, or Van Road.
Steve?
And again, county engineer Bobby Howard signed off no road improvements are necessary for this as well.
Very good. Anyone?
Make a motion to approve PP 22-19.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
Any absence?
That was approved.
Say what?
That was approved.
Okay. Thank you. Our last item is a request for reduction of surety. Huntington Creek, Section B, Newburgh Development LLC by Aaron Miller, owner. We're holding $11,193.60 surety and escrow for sidewalk construction. Requesting a reduction to $4,740. They've had 19 years, expires December 21st of 22.
County engineer Bobby Howard has signed off on the reduction amount. The only issue is there's been 19 years.
Is this one that,
I talked to Aaron Miller about this a little bit, and I think one house is, and Steve, you might even know more about it than I do. I think one house is under construction and the other is getting ready to start. Is there just two left?
Yeah, I believe, and one of the houses has double frontage or 2 lots.
Right, yes.
And they're both under construction.
Yeah, and they're $1 million homes, so,
These front the Ohio River on the backside of Huntington Creek, all 3 lots.
I did talk to Dennis. You know, I think Aaron wanted the whole surety release, but, you know, I just said, I don't know. I did talk to Dennis and he said he could hold a certificate of occupancy if he had to, you know, if something happened, which, however, they did, you know, that has been said, that's not in written policy, and that we probably need to get that in our policy to give him the authority to do that. So, but I don't see an issue with that myself.
so somewhere where we're at is we've got 2 lots left, 2 homes under construction, $1 million homes.
There's 3 lots, $1 million plus home, maybe $2 million home is on 2 lots, and then the other one's under construction.
I don't
now.
want sidewalks,
Yeah,
obviously.
and it's just timing. You know, he said,
Right.
why did I spend, you know, $1,000 or $1,500 to get a letter of credit for 2 or 3 months? That's his issue with it. It's more of a timing thing.
So it's surety and escrow, not a letter of credit.
Correct.
Right.
So we can release partial.
So I'm good with it.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to, on the reduction of surety for Huntington Creek, Section B.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
That's all for the APC.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
See you later. Get better.
Next order of business is the approval of minutes from the November 28th, 2022 meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. Next order of business is our county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item on the agenda is the multi-hazard mitigation plan draft from the Emergency Management Office. This plan would be adopting a multi-hazard mitigation plan is required as a condition of future grant funding. Has to do with hazard mitigation actions before disasters occur and reducing potential harm for person and property. So they're just looking for your approval for this draft document.
Let's see, Jake's not here, so I am familiar with that since I'm on the EMA advisory board. I don't have any questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the multi-hazard mitigation plan.
Second.
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda. That consists of the county auditor claims vouchers, report dates 11/30/2022 through 12/13/2022, payroll date of 12/5/2022, and the sheriff's holiday payroll of 12/16/2022. Next is the sale of one surplus tractor tire from the Warrick County Highway Department. Next item is the approval of inspection of one 3-inch wet pipe sprinkler system and replacing 5 sprinkler heads in the kitchen at the Warrick County Security Center provided by Tri-State Fire Protection. Next item is Keller Schrader's Microsoft agreement. Next is the road closure extension for EB Road. And the final item is the treasurer's report for October of 2022.
I just have one question. Legal counsel, have you looked over that Keller Schrader Microsoft agreement?
No, I had a question mark here. I don't think we've seen that.
So Heather, are we not sending all agreements to legal counsel before they get put on the agenda?
I believe that went, yes, that was,
You-
this was consented about 2 weeks ago. So this goes back a couple of weeks.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
a few weeks ago?
yeah.
Okay, so that was reviewed by John already before?
Probably.
Not this week, okay.
So
That's the
we're,
only question I just hadn't seen it.
okay. So we're good. John's looked at it then.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay.
I understand.
So, Bob, you good with the consent agenda?
Mhm.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
My motion carries 3-0. Next order of business, is that all, Heather?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next order of business is our county attorney.
The only item we have for today is we're continuing our discussion that was tabled at the last meeting on amendments to the public nuisance chapter. We had made some changes as per discussions we had previously, and that can be tabled again if we're still need to make some additional tweaks to it, but there's no rush. But when we do decide that it is ready to be adopted, it'll take 2 weeks of publication in the newspaper before it becomes enforceable and effective.
Commissioners, I sent a couple of minor comments back on the first draft we've received. I know that there was a second draft sent out this afternoon, which I have not looked at.
And I have not had time to look at the second.
I just briefly scanned through it.
Of course, we've got an inspector coming in 2023, so
Mhm.
probably a little bit more to it.
Do we want to go over the tweaks, what he's added, and then we can approve it? Or do you want to table this till?
Our next meeting's the 28th, is that correct? That's good.
Yep.
And we're probably gonna have to do some, you're gonna have a person in place maybe that without an ordinance to work from.
We can enforce the ordinance that's there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can enforce the ordinance that's currently on the books. It's just a different process
Right.
than this more simplified process that's
And
included in this.
And I can tell you what comes out of my district in January, February, and March is not very many.
Yeah.
As far as the nuisance goes, it starts in the spring.
That's fine.
I did see a guy mowing his grass in District 1 today.
We try to keep things up down there.
It's more mulching leaves than we got grass.
Exactly.
I will
Trying to find where the clock was at.
entertain a motion here.
What's the will of the board? What we want to do? Do we want to table this or approve it or
Table it.
table it? So I make a motion to table to the December 28th meeting. Or wait a minute. Yeah, the 28th.
Yes.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. Is that all, council?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business is our county engineer and highway superintendent.
Yes, Bobby Howes instructed me to present the Danco Construction pay app number 8 for the month of October 2022. The amount is $256,930.27. That's 256,930.27. That is for the Van Road building. Payout
Steve?
number 8.
Number 8, payout number 8.
That's 8 of what?
Payout number 8. You need the amount again?
No, I've got it. Is that 8 of 10? Is that 8 of 11?
Payout number 8.
It could go 10, 11, 12,
October
depending
billing.
on.
Got it. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Steve, do they say anywhere in that pay app that like 80% complete or 90% complete? Because I know they were we're just work on some punch items. We still got the sewer issue we're dealing with, and did we get the media?
It says here for the amount completed, we're at 88.8% completed. Balance to finish is $194,293.43 with a retainage of $87,250.
So plus retainage, we got
Yes.
both those figures.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm real. That's a good chunk to have holding back. So I'm good with. I make a motion to approve the October payout, Danco October payout, pay app number 8.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
I'll have one signature for Terry at the conclusion of the meeting for that. That's all that I have.
Thank you, Steve. Next order of business is our County Grants Development Director on her way to the podium.
She needs a cart.
With a stack of papers.
Stack of paper. I wouldn't be doing my job. Debbie Bennett Steersman, Warrick County Grants Development Director. I've got 3 things listed. I'd like to add one more to the list if we have time. I didn't find out about till Friday evening and Susie was off. And the 4th item would be the approval of Scales Lake Playgrounds budget and design.
So let me guess, the price goes up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So the first, under number 1, the approval of Scales Lake Shelter House design and budget that was tabled. I have not received any additional information, so I guess we'll table that one again.
Okay, we have to do these individually, I assume, so make a motion to table item number 1, the Scales Lake Shelter House design and budget to the next meeting of December 28th.
Second?
Our first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Okay, the second is to ask for an additional $500 for the sheriff's flock safety equipment that they received out of the ARPA funding. They were obligated $34,000, and when they got the final bill, it was $500 over. So I need to ask for an additional $500 for that from the ARPA funding.
So that's coming out of contingency.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the additional $500 for the sheriff flock safety.
Second.
Our first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Okay, I have 2 contracts from the ARPA Competitive Grant Program. The first contract is between Warrick County and Trails Head, Southwest Indiana, for $100,000.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
The second is a contract between Warrick County and St. John the Baptist Catholic Church for $75,000.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
The last may take a little bit longer.
Guarantee it.
Sorry, I tried.
It's not. Thank you, ma'am.
The Parks Board met with Recreation Insights to get quotes for doing improvements to all 3 county playgrounds at the Scales Lake Park. What I gave to you is several items. First item is a recap that I prepared from the 3 different quotes received from Recreation Insights. All of the playgrounds, none of the design have changed. When you look at the 3 options, the only differences are the surfaces. So I did a recap on the first sheet, and then you have the 3 different quotes from Recreation Insights. One of them, the first should be all the surfacing to be poured in place. The second one should be surfacing to be poured in place at the campground and the main pavilion, turf for the beach. The third is surfacing to be turf for all 3 areas. That's the 3 quotes. And then behind that, for each of the beaches, there's a design, and I apologize how they printed, but they sent them to me. This is the best I could do, the 3 designs. And I wrote the same order: campground, main road pavilion, and beach on the 3. Do you have those, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them right here.
Okay. So, let me go back. So the first option that they gave to the Parks Board is to do all 3 surfaces poured in place rubber. That was $488,286, which makes that option over by $38,286. You approved $450 in total for the 3 playgrounds. I've got that written at the top. The second option was to have all 3 be turf, and that total was $520,031, making that total over by $70,031. And the last option is to do the beach and turf and the other 2 poured in place, and that is $500,726, which is over $50,726. So these are the 3 options on the surfaces, keeping in mind that the designs you're seeing, nothing changes except for that. I tried to go through then and take each playground and divide it among the amount the surface was going to be under each option. And then the borders. I think something got cut off there. Yeah, the borders that's going to go around. So the camp playground to do the poured in place is $58,835, with the borders being $1,200. To do the camp playground with turf would be $77,100, with $1,200 for the borders. The main playground, if you did the borders poured in place, would be $78,200, with the borders being $1,775. To do it in turf would be $100,000, and the borders would be $1,775. The beach playground to do poured in place would be $62,335, the borders being $2,050, and to do it in turf would be $80,805, with borders of $2,050. The reason that they gave the different options is the warranty on the surfaces. The poured in place rubber has a 5-year warranty. It's not, I don't believe it is quite as durable either as the turf, but if you do turf on the playgrounds, they have a 15-year warranty. I then try to look through each of them to see if there's anything that maybe you could take out. I think the Parks Board did this as well. Each of the bids have removal of the existing equipment as $10,000. The installation of each was $49,850. Then you go to the stone aggregate for all 3 playgrounds if you do poured in place. It's $25,000. If you do the stone aggregate for the camp and main playgrounds poured in place, it's $19,500. Each of the parks have 2 park benches in it at $2,270 for a total of $13,620 per park. For all 3 parks. And then there's a discount on equipment of $41,795. What is not included in any of these is a recommendation from the company that the beach location, they recommend that you use turf and not the poured in place, as gravel would get kicked up by cars and people and be vulnerable to migrating on the surface. This would be significantly higher than a typical concrete to put a additional knee wall, which one section would be 36 feet and the other 26 feet 6 inches. And this would also serve as seating for patrons of the park. The funds for these 2 sections were not included in this proposal. Also, if you do the poured in place on any of them and gravel or vandalizing scratches the surface, it's not covered under the warranty. I know that's a lot to try to tell you in one. Is there anybody from the Parks Board that wants to speak?
It's surprising to me that turf is more expensive than poured in place. Poured in place is a newer kind of technology, and it's not been around as long as turf has, so that's just kind of surprising to me. But I've spoke with the rep a little bit, and they do have great concern if gravel is in the area and with that poured in place. I was actually on the Evansville playground with my granddaughters and just kind of really paying attention to the poured in place, and you can see where that, I don't know how old that park is over there on the Riverwalk, but it's already starting to show wear.
I think the unanimous consensus, and Greg, I might ask you about what the park board thinks, is that the turf is the way to go. Is that fair?
Greg Dietz, Warrick County Parks Department board member. The turf is the way to go. I mean, I know it's quite a bit. If you look at across the board, for all the playgrounds, the real expense is in the ground, in the site work and the turf. It's like 100, it's like of the 500 some thousand, 527, is that what it was for the total? Where's the total of the option with all the turf? 5. So there's 520. If you look at that, almost 300,000 of it is just the ground.
Yep. It's crazy.
And that goes on to the 15-year warranty. And so if you look at I know Boonville doesn't have a turf field at the ball field, but all the EVSC fields, they've went to turf for that reason, because they last.
Greg, did you guys talk about in your meeting of the removal of the existing equipment? Is that something that we can do internally? I know Mike just did his down at Main Road.
Ben said that they would do it, but I mean, he was also, then they would have to dispose of it, their time, and then the risk of backhoe, rip it out. I mean, they're really not sure, and scheduling that demo with their installation, it's a possibility. Ben would be willing to do it, have that done if need be.
I just know Mike.
But would rather not.
Mike Jost, the commissioner down at Grove, he disassembled that himself almost.
Yeah.
And I know he had help when just pulling the poles out, but
I think we gotta figure out a way to, I think we're all in agreement that the turf's the way to go.
Yep.
We gotta figure out a way to get that number down a little bit.
So,
That's an easy number to get down.
Mhm.
We can find help, looking at Steve over there.
So removing that would be, just basically a backhoe and just rip them out.
Yeah.
And then we can take the scrap, haul it in the middle, haul it to the scrapyard, get what little bit of scrap we can out of it. And then the wood parts of it, just take it to the burn pile, burn it.
Probably put the benches in later.
We could possibly get donations for, from the plastic benches.
right there's 43.6.
That puts us at 496, 380.
How'd you get that down?
How'd you get that number? It's 10,000 to do taking the equipment.
That's for all three,
That's
correct?
30.
Yes, 10,000
Yeah.
is
Per.
total.
That's for all.
I
The
thought.
thing, I'm sorry, things at the bottom were things I was trying to do
Oh,
comparisons
so that's not
on.
30,000.
No, it's just
10,000 total
Oh,
for
okay.
demo.
And then the benches would be 13,620.
So
That's for each
23,000.
option. It's the same
Okay.
total. I should have put that at the bottom.
Yeah, so that'd be 23,620. If we did benches later and then,
It's about 497.
Debbie, is there not a number for site work on the all three turf option?
Tell me what you mean by that. You mean installation or the site?
Well, installation is.
I put the
assembling.
installation, it's basically the same. And then for the turf, it's the 13,620. I'm sorry.
That's
No,
no-
I'm looking up here. Sorry, it's 19,500.
yeah, yeah,
That's
so,
the aggregate.
yeah.
Let me back up to day one, Debbie. My mindset has always been that this was 500,000 and we got to 450 now. Was that the recommendation? from-
450,000 was a recommendation based on previous quotes that were under that from another company.
Yeah, that 450 was based on the original quotes.
Which the design was quite a bit
Yeah,
significantly
it was
less.
different. Yeah, it was different and the groundwork was
Yes.
different.
Yes,
Right.
correct. And there was no discount,
Right, right. This equipment's on the state bid
correct.
and.
Yeah, we're not comparing apples to apples.
Right, that's my
Yeah.
point. That's,
So Terry, if you were talking about the excavation,
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's 18,500 of all three sites. And that's right before the demolition of 10,000.
Is that on here? I'm not blind.
Yeah, pull out one of the quotes. It's,
Oh.
You're asking about for the turf, right?
Got it.
yeah, when you're looking at her spreadsheet, she doesn't have that.
Yeah,
that
gotcha.
broke down
Right,
spreadsheet.
I've got it just, it goes like this.
Yeah.
There's none there.
I want to get this done. I was just looking for any efficiency.
I was trying to look, I mean, other than not putting benches, there's not even shade areas or trash cans or anything from what I saw. And I think, did someone say that they could do the concrete ledges for the one by, did Joe say?
Yeah, we're not even, yeah, we want to bring that because we'll just
Okay.
take care of that internally.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it wasn't in the quote.
So really, the 10,000 for the removing existing equipment, yeah, we can take care of that. You know, Ben, you know, it's, when it comes time, we can take care of that.
Greg, so it says cost not included, additional knee wall. Is that what did I hear somebody say that's going to be done internally?
Yeah, we'll take care of that
Yes.
internally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff from the Howard and Evans Memorial. We've got some of the block.
Yeah.
From left over from that. I
Good.
mean, if they laid around Freeman, if you look where the roundabout is, where the turnaround is. So we would just implement that into a knee wall. And then, we wouldn't have to dig footers, we wouldn't have to do any groundwork, like literally just place them underground.
Well, Greg, is there an opportunity for the Parks Foundation to make up this shortfall or no?
Yes.
There is?
So
I can't say yes on their behalf, but there is definitely a yes that we can ask.
Right. I'm like Terry, I want to get this across the finish line.
rough math.
I did want to say that the price is,
Double check my figures, 520
Mhm.
minus the seating, minus the removal, minus the site leveling puts us at 477. 80, so we're gonna make up $28,000.
Who's going to do the site leveling?
I'm sure we can talk to the highway, possibly stormwater. He basically just said Ben will do it.
Okay.
So we can have the equipment.
So where does that come, where's that come out of here, Terry? On here? Oh, okay.
Basically just estimation of sites and depth.
Yeah, okay. That's a lot of months for little tractor work.
Right.
and the company contacted me this morning and said that if we didn't do something by the end of 2022, actually December 30th, there would be a 17% increase.
Yeah.
So that's why I tried to hurry and get it in. And also the attorney's office wanted to work out a little bit of things in the language, specifically being they want to check up front. I think it's for half or fourth of all the equipment, and he wasn't certain that we could do that. So I sent an email back to the company this afternoon asking if that language could be changed. I did not hear back from them before the meeting.
There's a few items in there, such as advanced payment and this, depending on who's doing the site prep work, that's gonna be done in-house or them. It just says site prep is to be done by the customer unless contracted out by recreation. And so we just got to decide who's doing it, right? So we can make sure it's right here.
Okay.
Site work, if we have recreation do it, we're hiring them, or we have to hire somebody else. I don't know that Ben's crew is, I can't speak on Ben's behalf, but I don't know that Ben's crew is would be up to doing the site work, getting the ground level, putting down the rock and aggregate, getting everything prepared. I don't remember that ever being something that been offered to do.
It appears in the quote, it says the installation and site prep and drainage for areas 1 only to edge of asphalt, 2 and 3 daylight out of playground by 4 feet. That's the $49,850. So I'm assuming that is their price to do the things that the attorney was asking about, who was going to do that. That's just the way I took it, but I wasn't sure.
Debbie, what page are you on?
I am on the one with all turf. It's page number 2.
She just read.
I got it.
We just want to confirm and make sure the contract language is consistent with their quote.
It's a $50% deposit at time of purchase. We don't have that.
Yeah.
And then the balance at completion, because there's no shade or shelters, structures on this one.
I do remember when we met with her, she was talking about making sure they can secure that playground equipment and that it doesn't disappear out from underneath of us.
I always worry about that. Net 30 upon completion.
So Debbie, we're just approving the funding right now, correct?
Pardon me?
Just approving the funding, right?
Correct.
That's all we're doing
Well,
right now.
and I think also you need to, is my opinion that we'd like to have the designs that I gave to you
Yeah,
approved and the surface. We'll probably have to work on a little bit of the other language and bring it back to have it actually signed off. John Goff told me that he felt the proposals were sufficient if we get the wording right to service the contracts upon signature.
Greg or Debbie, did they give you a timeline on what this total project will cost if the site's ready, then to come in
Be
in
done in September.
September?
Mhm.
Good, really.
So how long, so some of that is they got to order everything in?
Yes.
That's
Is that-
more along with the Parks Board request. Is we don't want to do any work during the summer.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
we don't want to do any work while, it's the busiest time of the year. So
Okay.
ideally it would be after the kind of slows down a little bit, and then that way we can get in there.
So Greg, is this a 30-day project for them, 45-day? Did they say?
You know,
Give you an
No,
idea?
I do not have that answer, but she didn't act like it would be very long. I mean, they have other projects they want to get onto. Can you write that note down so we can ask
Yeah.
that?
They'll also be doing the one at the Newburgh girls softball at the same time, more than likely.
The other thing, I mean, I see why they're gonna have a big expenditure if they gotta secure the equipment before the increase. They probably have to send some money up, but I mean, I was trying to think of what am I thinking, like a partial payment of completion. So much of the completion is done, but I know we can't
Not
do
if it
that.
doesn't start in August.
Yeah.
We
So-
could ask if there's a percentage of just the equipment and not the labor. I don't know if that's something.
If we can do that, can we?
It can be paid upon receipt.
The equipment.
But then where are we gonna put it? And some of it doesn't walk off or.
Yeah, I don't, receiving the equipment, I don't know how well that would.
Okay.
The price increase, I don't know if you guys just did a math in your head, but that's, it's 80,000, over 80,000.
I think that's why I got a headache.
Let's do this step by step here. Is everybody good with the design of the equipment?
Okay with the design of the equipment.
Yeah, we did a lot of back and forth on the design, and we really think that's a really good design on the equipment.
Maybe on each of your quotes, there's supposed to be 2 benches at each
Park.
park, but there's only 5 listed in the quotes.
You know, I saw that on one and then I ended up finding the other one. Just, I gotta look at it again. There are two.
There's two and one.
Good catch on that, but there.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I think that
Good
is,
catch, but yeah, there should be two.
I don't
at
think
each.
she carried it over on one of them because I looked it up too. There's two here, two here. And she only put one here. That was on the all turf. And the other two have 222. The other two quotes.
Let me look at that.
So if you look at the one that's poured in place, there's two. Two. No, it's got one. I guess I'll just read it in my head. There is supposed to be two on each.
So your quote's a little bit shy.
Yeah, $2,270 shy. But if you weren't going to do them, that was a deduction that I had listed as well. Two. I swear one of them had two on there.
You actually have it correct on your spreadsheet.
Huh?
So you actually have it correct on.
I
your
know,
spreadsheet.
because I knew there was supposed to be two on each.
Yeah.
But I thought that also might have been one of the deductions, so I just wanted to show you the deduction amount. She even says that she added a bench in that.
Yeah, I got it.
Option two.
I added a bench to the beach quote.
Debbie, what's the, or Greg, either one of you, what's the drop dead date that they need confirmation of this contract?
The, was it?
December 30th.
Yeah,
Yes.
30th.
Yeah.
December 30th?
Otherwise, the prices go up.
Or it'll go up by 17%. Yeah. She did put in her email that she added a bench, but she didn't put it in the quote. That's where I got it.
That's what you want to do. I just don't know if we got anybody that can do it.
Which is that. So, Mr. Saylor, Commissioner Johnson just
Yeah.
said, here's where he's at. He's basically on the same page as I am. Option two, the all turf.
Mhm.
Trying to draw them from 520 to a closer to 450 number.
Mhm.
We eliminate the benches.
Mhm.
We eliminate the removal of existing equipment.
Mhm.
It's 23.
I'm confident we can get excavation of all three sites to depth of PIP needed per site done locally for a better number than 18.5, or we can do it ourselves.
Mhm.
Part of the 49,850 for installation includes some site work,
Mhm.
which we can probably get done locally for a better number, or possibly do it ourselves.
The excavation here.
So that gets us closer to 450, but I don't know, without knowing what that 49,850 looks like.
I,
For
For the excavation.
each,
the excavation scares me. It does.
That's for all.
that's what we're all,
Yeah.
okay.
If we did that in-house. Because these are the experts. This is their playgrounds that they're gonna put in place.
Yep.
I think that they should be the ones doing excavation to get it to their spec. How
There is a-
that way, if it messes up, it's on them.
There is a provision here they've got in the contract that the customer is responsible for any costs or fees caused by site conditions which delay any work. So if they get there and it's not to their liking, and they gotta redo it.
I mean, it's a considerable sum of money. Don't get me wrong. And it'd be great to save it, but I think it's kind of risky.
Okay. I'm confident that we have local contractors that can do it, but I'm
Oh, I
okay.
know we do.
I'm okay with your suggestion.
I just don't know if we have it internally to do it.
Understood. So I think what we're looking for here is a number that we can find agreement on.
And
Between,
we might be able to get a local vendor to volunteer to do that.
That's a question that we can actually ask, because I didn't ask that, and that brings up, they may be intending to use a local. They may not, their intentions may not be haul their equipment from Indianapolis.
can be,
They may be, they think that this is what we can get somebody local to do it for,
with a margin on top.
put a margin on it. Yeah, so that's a good,
So, council, if we all have a number in our head, what we're willing to agree on, what's the motion sound like here?
If you have a number that you would be willing to spend, you could approve an additional expenditure of whatever the additional amount of money is. And then it'd just be up to the Parks Board to come up with the rest.
And Greg, you feel like maybe the Parks Foundation could get over that hurdle maybe?
yeah, we you know, they should be able to help for sure. The, especially with benches and stuff like that. I mean, that's right up their alley. And then the benches on the beach playground, part of that knee wall that we put in will be
Used as a bench.
Will be used as, benches. So to actually have two benches within the playground itself, that could, if that's something that we decide that we do later down the road.
Okay.
Probably somewhere in that neighborhood. Huh?
480.
Is that a motion?
I make a motion to allow the Parks Department $480,000 to accomplish this pet playground.
Second.
Have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
And I'd like to see option 2. Really would. It's your best bang for the buck,
Should,
Revised.
revised.
Is that adequate or do we need approval? I think we kind of talked about the
right.
fact that we're all
No, I'm
in
just,
favor.
as long as Parks Board is allowed to do the entering in the contract and everything, I don't have to come back. Or do I, to get it by the 30th?
Well, it's a matching part, right?
Pardon me?
It'd be just matching funds, correct? The additional funds, that whatever, $20,000 left.
So, well, we had 450, so you're approving an additional $30,000
Correct.
to make it 480
Right.
for the parks to make their decision, your recommendations all turf. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And the Parks Board would have the authority then to enter into the contract at that amount of money without having to come back?
I don't know.
Subject to approval on the terms, because there are a few terms we need to work out.
Right. And then they'd have to be able to have the extra funding to
And the
award the
extra funding.
contract.
Yeah, with that short of time, I'm not sure how we would be able to, come up with the difference with saying, hey, yeah, we're going to sign a contract so we don't eat another 80 grand.
So I don't know who's been leading the negotiations on the Parks Board again. Sounds like Dan's talked to Melissa with,
Yeah, Dan
Recreation
has,
Insights.
but not I.
I'm talking about Commissioner
Oh,
Saylor.
oh.
Are you guys opposed to me calling her one more time and
Nope.
just
Please
talking
do.
to her a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a discount on her already, but that doesn't mean that we can't, the bottom line is we need to get the most bang for our buck. So if we got to
Right.
ask again, hey, we need
Well,
more.
we're not really asking for a discount. We're just eliminating some of their
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Well, even discounts so that, because we would really, the general consensus of the park superintendent and the park board president is the option 2. We would like to secure the funding for option 2.
Yep.
We were prepared to, take off the 10 if we had to. So then we're at 510, and then maybe some benches or whatever, so we could be down to 5.
Mhm.
So we really figured at the 500,000, we'd be able to get this thing signed and closed in for the 2022.
Fair enough, but at the same
Now-
time, you knew that the core committee recommendation was 450, and that's
Yes.
kind of what you had to work with.
Yeah. So yes, we would be great if you called again.
So if you did 494, it would cover everything with the demolition and the benches. Is that correct, or am my math off?
Don't know what the math is
A
at
little
this
bit.
point. I'd like to look at that 49,850 number on
So
installation.
if they did 480, it would be.
Greg, do you just want to reach out or
487.
have Daniel reach out to the foundation and see, because what are we, $20,000, $20,000 apart here? And see if they.
How
can-
much?
around 18 different.
Not
Yeah.
including the benches, though.
So we're at-
Right,
Yeah.
right. Let's say 20,000. Could, you think they could make up, see if Daniel could call, see if they can make up
Yeah.
that short?
Yeah.
And then with Terry working on his end, maybe, you know, if he can get a reduction of something.
Yeah.
And then you get a commitment for some funds
For
and
Park
maybe,
Foundation, yeah.
maybe that number is even.
Yep.
Can be made smaller, or, I mean,
No, yeah,
let's all put our heads together.
Yeah,
So you're gonna make the call? Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure where I left off there.
I'm not sure either. We're going-
Bob made a motion.
You got the approval for 480.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Can I have another
We got it.
question?
Yeah, it's already
Before you
approved.
call for the vote real quick, could you potentially, so we wouldn't have to come back yet this month and make the commitment, maybe commit the 494 or 7 or whatever it is to do it, and then we work backwards,
Up to 494.
yeah, to get some of that taken care of just in case. And then we take it back down if they, I know you don't want to do that, but I'm
No,
trying to,
I really don't. I mean, we've got that contingency and we've already hit it
I know.
twice. And
I know, just trying to save time.
yeah, okay, so we're looking at 480 for the approval, and then we need to come up with work with the Parks. I think we can make it happen.
I think we can squeeze some juice out of this thing.
Yeah, we can squeeze a little bit and then,
I
Is it- I mean, it'd be a really-
We just don't miss that timeline.
it'd be a really good end of the year
Yep.
contract sign for them.
Yep,
They would hate to
absolutely.
miss it themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so too.
I mean, there's a number on here, I know, of that state discount. With all that's going on in Warrick County. I want to do that math.
And it's the
There's-
same
There's
for-
things I want to double check.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess that's equipment,
right,
percentage on
equipment only.
equipment only, I think.
Yeah, that's part of being part of that
When's
group.
your all meeting in? When's Parks Board meeting in?
Next Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, the 20th.
Did we vote?
Yes, you
You
did.
did.
Okay. Now you can go ahead with your call for vote.
We're done.
Oh, I didn't hear you vote on it. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
There's a
I don't
motion for
remember
up to
hearing-
480,
Yeah.
and that was approved. And so you'll have to go back and find funds if you want to go with the 500 or however, whatever you got down to. And then if you can get to those funds, in the meantime, let's trying to work out the contract language. And we come back and sign it because the funds are required.
So, so we're gonna reach out, Terry's gonna reach out to
Recreation.
Recreation, Melissa with Recreation, and then we're gonna reach out to the Parks Foundation. Let's see if we can squeeze that out.
And I guess as soon as either one of you guys find out something, you need to, I guess,
They're still working on the Newburgh that you approved, the girls softball, and that was the same comments on those, so we're still working on those.
Let's put a note on my calendar. They call her at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
sorry. Did you get everything?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
thanks,
thank you.
Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is that all, Debbie? Thank you. Okay, next order of business is our county acquisition manager, Sherry.
Good evening, Commissioners. Pursuant to Indiana Code 36-112-4, we have put out for bids an invitation to quote new flooring for the Judicial Center. That is the original flooring, I believe, from 1996. I did invite 3 companies that are in or live in Warrick County to provide me bids. I reached out to Benny's Flooring in Newburgh, Greer's Flooring in Evansville, and Sunrise Flooring in Newburgh as well. And we received 1 bid, and that is from Greer's Flooring America. And I'm going to open the bid now. Before you, you have a legal size piece of paper bid sheet, which just tells you who we let the bid out to, and then that just basically says the forms that they need to provide us. But this is more, the form of proposal is more what I'm going to work on tonight, which is going to break it down, square footage and price, so on and so forth.
Sherry, did they say where the other two?
Yes.
did bid?
Benny's didn't reply at all, and Sunrise told me he was losing sleep and probably going to get fever blisters because it was
Just
too big of a job. And I just want to tell you, this is a huge job on a commercial scale. And I mean, huge. So, Greer's Flooring, the total square foot of carpet that they came up with was 32,544. The total amount of luxury vinyl plank, 3,259. And the total linear foot of vinyl co-base was 6,900. Total cost of materials, 146,000. Total cost of labor, $317,000. 10 boxes of additional carpet tile, $2,000. And that's for replacement when things get damaged, and it'd be the same dye lot. And the total cost of additional 10 boxes of LVP, $900, for a total job of $465,900. And they have included their bid bond as well. And I also do have references. Greer's Flooring is very versed in commercial floor covering. And I do have, they've done USI, Core Construction, Crossroads Christian Church, and several Fifth Third banks as well recently.
I know. We don't have anything to compare to. That's a lot of money for carpet. All right, so do you know how many square feet you did?
And I also measured prior to this, just to see how many square foot. And actually, I came up with more because those tiles or the carpets are 24 inches by 24 inches. So if a room is 17 by 13, you call it 14 by 18. So my square footage on the carpet actually came up to 34,214, and they're actually at 32,544. And then on my luxury vinyl plank, I added 7% on mine for waste, and I was at 3,886, and they were at 3,259. The ARPA that was approved was 356,361. So we're about $100,000 shy.
Say that again, Sherry, one more time, please.
The ARPA amount that was approved was $356,361.72. So what is that? Almost $100,000 lower than what we had anticipated. And I would assume most of that is labor. Because they're going to have a.
How long does this project take, you think? Total?
It depends on what hours we're going to work it.
Just man hours.
You know, a job that size, Bill?
After hours of work, We think, from the time we get all the stuff in, it would take 75 days.
Thank you, Bill.
Furniture moving.
But one more question, Bill.
Yes.
I know that there are some departments, how many of those 75 days are figured off hours, do you know?
All of them,
All of them?
all of them.
For sure, figure it off hours.
There was, it was figured, yeah, they were planning on 2 weekends. He was about 50 grand for the entire office, upstairs, downstairs.
Sherry, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a little bit concerned that we don't have a comparison because of, it's, granted, this is a big job, but I just wish there wasn't just another number that we could go. It's an extraordinary amount of money. I just would like to have another number to compare to, but
I think we should table it and think about it and maybe reevaluate
we
it.
can't do that.
So you're-
We've got to reject these, don't we?
Your options are you could table it. You could also reject the bid and get more bids and then have some other comparisons to come to. But before you go out and get more bids, you'd have to reject this bid. And that doesn't mean rejecting the bid. It doesn't mean they can't.
I don't-
It can be rebid again at the next round, but
I think at this point,
Well, number one, we don't have the funding.
we don't have the money, so we have to reject it. So I would make a motion to reject this bid, table this and go out for more bids.
Well, we just reject.
evaluate your scope as well.
Yeah, maybe we change something up and we just need to think about how we want to approach this.
Well, if we had 2 bids, then maybe we take something off. And then again, I don't know, maybe we take all the vinyl, all the hard surface off, which I don't know if that number would get us in the budget. Then maybe, the council hasn't spent money on carpet in 30 or 20 some years, then maybe we go to, I don't know what the options are. I'm gonna have a hard time saying yes to this when I can't see another number.
Is there, Sherry, in your opinion, a number that represents doing this during normal work hours versus off hours? I know that that's got to play a role.
I've been out of the carpet business for probably about 5 years now. So you're going to pay prime
Right.
to ask people to come in at 4 o'clock and give their evenings up with their family.
It's gotta be double
We're gonna
time.
have at least on the job site, 10 to 12 people at night.
Okay. Would it be fair to ask the percentage in reduction to Bill for, could we work it out to where did we do this job during regular business hours? And if so, was there a lot of issues involved?
Well, I'd like to know what the normal daytime hour rate would be and the total labor number would be.
Mhm.
But I think we also have to recognize that, there's a loss in productivity from the offices that are moving around during that day.
Right.
Obviously, the folks in this building know that story.
Mhm.
Been there, done that, so.
Sherry, did this also include the furniture moving?
Yes, and yes. And Greer's, they have a company that actually comes in and does their furniture moving. So they work with that company and their installers to coordinate everything in a timely fashion.
So Sherry, on this particular project, they bid it to where just come in and work, around, people. But when they tore this up, they realized they had to put down a subfloor, which was not in the original. Of course, they had to do that on their dime because we had a no change order contract.
Mhm,
So it was huge because now they had to lay a subfloor over everything.
mhm.
So while it was, if I had to do it over again, I think we would move out offices because it created a lot of stress, not only on our
Mhm.
people, but it created a lot of stress on the contractors.
Mhm.
And I think you get a better product, but I know the squares are different than laying down, flat, I mean,
They are, but one issue that they more than likely are going to run into, and I believe Mr. Leverage was involved when this carpet initially went down. And there's areas, especially in the basement, where that has been flooded several times, and that carpet is tight. So they're bringing in their Bronco machines, which I don't know if you know what those are, but and it's very labor intense, but they could run into even more issues because they don't know what kind of patch is under those floors when they take that carpet up, how much patch is going to come up with it, which, those are things that cost money when you've got to go in and repatch and things of that nature. But I was really, truly shocked that it was down as tight as it is, being that it's been through, in the basement, I believe, 2 floods.
Remember when it first flooded, when they first opened it on the 3rd floor?
I don't.
On the distribution centers?
I don't.
Well, they did, and they used a Lee's carpet, and they also used a Lee's glue, and that's one of the worst carpet glues you can have to get up.
So, and I'm sure the additional amount, again, is labor, because there is so much involved in this job. So I'm at the commissioner's mercy.
I'll entertain a motion for discussion.
I just feel like I gotta see another number. I mean, Terry, what do we do about the short, we got a shortfall. So we got to decline this.
You already heard me say once tonight, I don't really want to start digging into the
Yeah.
contingency any more than we have.
Well, I made a motion
You made a motion?
What was your motion?
to reject the bid,
Okay.
table this, and reevaluate it.
We evaluate it. Does that mean Sherry goes out and,
I think we need to we're gonna have to look at what we can, maybe to take some cost out of it. How do we take cost out of it? And then have Sherry go get some bids. Because I think, I don't know if,
well, now we're not comparing apples with apples. I would like to see
No.
apples with apples.
well, once we take something out of it and reevaluate it and take something out and try to, something that we know can get the cost down, then we can take it out for rebid and
Sherry, let me ask you something.
and Greer's rebids.
Is the recorder's office included in this?
No, sir.
Okay. What other offices are not included in this?
If you look at your attachment to the small paper there,
Oh, okay.
everything that's highlighted is included. Now, I did remove in the election office where they keep the election machines, that vinyl composition tile is very good shape. It's down good and tight. There's no reason to take that out and put LVP in there, so I left that. And then also in the auditor's room, they've got a nice big storage area, same situation. Luxury vinyl or vinyl composition tile is down good and tight, and it's in good shape. So there's no reason to take that up and remove it. Those are the only 2 areas that I felt didn't require replacement.
Okay.
If we're talking about materials only, we'd be set, right?
Well,
Said if we were talking materials only, we'd be set.
yes, because on carpet, when I estimated it, on materials, I come up just an estimation of 126,000. And luxury vinyl plank, I came up with 11,230. So that's 137. They're at 146. So it's not the materials that's the issue.
Understood.
Yeah.
So So maybe when you bid this, if we if we rebid this, maybe we put in there, okay, what it is at after hours, and then, okay, what is it if we do it all during regular business hours or normal business hours? And maybe that's a significant difference in that number. I don't know.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You know, with
He
regular
needs to come
hours,
up.
it's gonna take it down quite a bit.
Bill, are you able to walk to the front here?
I just don't know if he's gonna be able to pick up.
Yeah.
He's picking up. Okay, well, if he's picking up, then I'm fine. He can stay there.
Bill, you're okay. Stay there.
You're okay there, Bill, as long as you can hear the commissioners.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you take doing regular hours, it will take it down quite a bit.
that's my point. If we get that number, then maybe it's a decision that we have to make. Say, hey, office holders, we got to work together here, and we did it over here, so it's not something that we're going to ask them to do that we haven't done.
Okay.
That's alternative number one, please.
First floor, second
What?
floor, third floor bid prices. You can do the state.
What I'm worried about too is on the machines we're gonna use, they're not quiet.
Bill, it wasn't quiet around here either. I mean, we did have to move some phone. Now we have a different phone system in place where we could move them maybe in other areas if somebody needs to. I know it's inconvenience, but if we can save,
Yeah.
I don't know, $100,000. I don't know what the number is. And I hate it, Sherry, that you have to go back and do some more work.
That's part of it.
but-
I understand.
Yeah,
I totally understand. So this we're going to reject and then put it out for bids?
So the
Again-
motion on the floor is to reject the bids from Bob.
And figure out ways to take out costs.
So, reject the bid. I will second that motion.
I have a first and a second, all in favor.
All right.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
Okay. So do I put it back out for bids or do I?
Not yet.
No,
We gotta
you're
figure out,
gonna,
a way-
okay.
we need to figure out how we're gonna take out costs.
Okay, my next thing that I do want to bring up, why have you, another expense that the commissioners would really need to be made aware of is, I've noticed when I was measuring that there's a lot of offices that don't have the plastic protectant that your chair rolls underneath their chair.
Chair match.
Mhm. And, we've got areas in the clerk's office that doesn't even have fiber. Those chairs will ruin carpet. So I've got in the assessor's office, auditor's office, clerk's office, and prosecutor's office, those are the only ones I've spoke with. There's 55 total mats that we need. And through Office Depot, I can get them bulk. 50 mats is going to run $7,499. So we need to look at those additional expenses too. If you're spending that kind of money for carpet, we definitely want to take good care of it.
Sure, I was in business 30 years and my fat bottom sitting in a chair destroyed mats like they were nothing. And I ended up buying 2 mats and they were about $500 a piece.
Yeah.
And they're still up there today.
Yeah.
And the good ones are expensive. Lifetime guarantee on it gets cracking.
Is that just a policy to require those?
Just buying them.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
So, again, that's the piece that you go to the council. You know what, we gotta protect our investment.
Okay, next order of business is Tony O'Neill with Warrick County EMS. Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hello, Tony O'Neill with Warrick EMS. I'm going to say thank you first of all. We've got the contract signed by both parties and we've got it in place now. Part of that agreement, Todd asked we give you guys some updates on how the new station's going, the 6th truck and hiring right now. So that's why I'm tonight, is just give you an update on that. The six truck has been ordered. It's been ordered for quite some time. It's due here March 1st, along with the power cot and the equipment that goes in it. So we'll have the truck here by then. It looks like the new station will be ready for us sometime in March as well. We posted the jobs on the website. I've got about 12 to 15 interviews set up over the next 2 weeks. A lot of EMTs, applicants for EMTs, not so positive on medics right now. They're really few and far between. So we've got some work to do to get, I need 3 medics. So I need to work on that. But I've kind of got a contingency plan in place if we don't get those hired, where we can utilize some of our current medics to get us by until we get them filled. So it looks like March 1st, it would probably be the soonest we could probably implement that 6 truck by the time we get everything here and everybody in place. So that's it.
Easy enough.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Anything else from anyone?
I have nothing.
Anything?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
First and a second, all in favor.
All right.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
Says your signature is on this line.
No, I don't.
She used it.